Yes, Stephen A. Smith is in sunnier weather there in Miami. He'll be back. He'll be back with his puffy coat on Monday. He'll be freezing with the rest of us. Good morning, Stephen A.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Everybody all right? Everybody all right?
Yeah. I'm feeling good. What are you going to say, Cam?
I like this, Stephen. I like where he's at right now. Huh?
He's in a good mood today.
Is it because of Ryan Terry? Huh? Is it because of Shea, Gertrude, Elizabeth?
It's because of all three of y'all. I love my Fridays. I love my Fridays with y'all.
Let's turn up.
I'm here.
Let's turn up. Come on.
Tell you what, Cam, it might be you because he showed up at 9:58 today.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was 9:59.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it might be you.
Well, you know, I was here. I just had to use the bathroom before yesterday's show, so I got it a little bit late. But I was here on time, today and stuff like that to get the proper greeting because RC didn't give it to me. But it's all right. I'm here. I'm in the house, y'all.
Okay, well, since we brought up yesterday, let's stick with it, right? Let's do it. Let's talk about yesterday and what we saw on Thursday Night Football, because last night the Patriots notched their 8th straight win, beating the Jets 27-14. Rookie Travion Henderson, 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdowns. Stephon Diggs put up over 100 receiving yards, and Drake Maye threw for 281 yards with no interception. So the Pats today are now up 3 games in the win column over Buffalo and remain the favorite to win the AFC East, according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. They also have the 5th shortest odds to win the AFC behind the Chiefs, Bills, Colts, and Ravens. After last night, though, are we convinced, after what you watched, that the AFC, Ryan Clark, is going to go through Foxborough?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely convinced. And it's not just about what we saw last night. Obviously, playing the Jets, you expected the New England Patriots to operate that way, to execute in the way that they have. But also, let's look at the rest of the season. The games that they have that are must-win games, or the games that could be where you might say to yourself, okay, they have to be on upset alert. Those are the Buffalo Bills, which they'll have at home, and they already beat them early on in the season. And then they go on the road to the Baltimore Ravens. This is a team that's shown us that they can win in many ways. You have a quarterback right now. I don't care if you're talking about the Patrick Mahomeses, the Josh Allens of the world, the Lamar Jacksons of the world. You have a quarterback in Drake Maye that's outplayed all of them up until this point, is the leader as far as the MVP conversation goes. And you have Mike Vrabel that has instituted a culture here that is don't quit, that show up every day, that's execute every day, and never take a day for granted. Those are the type of things we expect from New England Patriots team. And when you look at their schedule as compared to who is the biggest threat for the #1 overall seed, the Indianapolis Colts, it's a much easier schedule down the stretch than Daniel Jones and his team face. It's going to go through Foxborough just like it used to throughout the 2000s.
Stephen A.?
I completely agree with RC. I get where he's coming from because, again, 5 of their next 6 games are against teams with losing records. We see that. We understand they got Buffalo in like week 15 or whenever it is. But the bottom line is that's their scenario. That's the situation. All I'm saying is let's just make sure to stop short of saying that just because the road is going to go through Foxborough, that means they can't be beat. Because when you're playing inferior competition, I've got to take into consideration that that's not what we should anticipate as this season moves forward, particularly come playoff time. When you think about Indy, when you think about Kansas City, when you think, assuming they handle their business, when you think about Buffalo and others, maybe Baltimore, when you think about those teams, those kind of things can happen. You expect any other. One thing I think we have to look at AFC, RC, and Cam, we got to scour it and recognize the fact that most of those teams are fully capable of winning on the road. Mm-hmm. They can go on the road and handle their business. So we're going to look at Drake Maye, who completed his first 11 passes last night and really has passed for over 200 yards in every single game he's thrown. He's quarterback this year, which is a testament to him. I got to give credit where credit is due. He had a passer rating for at least 109 of the games he's played this year. These are incredibly impressive, I get that. But strength of schedule does matter. And then we take into account last night with the New York Jets. Yeah, they are the Jets. They're football purgatory. We get it. No Sauce Gardner any longer. No Quinnen Williams any longer. Garrett Wilson's on IR. So arguably their 3 best players weren't even on the damn field, which certainly did not help. So we get all of that too. The Patriots are a damn good team for all of the reasons RC articulated. But the competition or lack thereof does say something as well. So we'll see.
Laconia, middle of the mall. And yes, is Drake Maye playing good football, Stephen Anthony and Ryan Terry? Absolutely. And I would like to attest his great play to one specific person that I know too well, Josh McDaniels. Mm-hmm. Now, Josh McDaniels may not be a great head coach, but he is a brilliant offensive mind. And he explains the game in a way that it's just, dang. So if the shades right here and the 3 texts right there, okay, cool, that's over. All right, cool. I did the mic and let's play. You're protected now, all right? The thing that I have a problem with is if you keep playing sorry scrubs, then you're going to have this falsetto of a mentality going into the playoffs, and it has one and done written all over it. Give me the Indianapolis Colts, because the same questions that I have for Indianapolis, or should I say Carly Ursay's Indianapolis Colts, she's doing a damn good job with that.
Facts.
When you talk about them, the same questions still arise when you're talking about the New England Patriots. How will their quarterback perform in Indiana Jones? Now, when you have Mrs. Ursay or Mrs. Ursay Gordon make the decision to burn the boats and say, we all in for this year, to go get a Sauce Gardner, to go get, pieces that can get us in the best situation to win yesterday. That's where the road stops. Yes, am I questioning Indiana Jones? Absolutely. But do I have more concern with the New England Patriots playing 5 or 6 teams that have losing records, then going into a situation where now the competition exceeds, what you may have been used to? That's what I have the biggest question for Drake Maye, because he's playing brilliant. He's playing clean football, not putting the ball in stress or stressful situations, and last night was a perfect indication of that. But at the end of the day, when you start to say and compare and contrast, I'm going to have to say the Indianapolis.
You know what I love, though? See, I love that we've been rocking music all day, right? You came with that falsetto. I think the Dream had that falsetto, huh? You know what else the Dream said, though? He said he was rocking that thing. And that's exactly what Drake Maye been doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this team starts 1-2, right? You lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers and turn the football over 5 times, right? The Las Vegas Raiders beat them week 1. This wasn't a team we were expecting to beat here, but this is what people like to do, right? When you make an argument, you know what I'm saying? You've been in enough arguments in your life, Cam. They like to point out the things that support their argument, right? They're like, look at the 5 of the 16, woo, 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 woo. But they didn't say, last I checked, they went on the road and beat the reigning MVP in Buffalo. Because you only play who they put on the schedule, Cam.
That's a snapper fact.
Buffalo doesn't look the same.
You
can't add people to the schedule.
I'm with you.
It's still the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
You're not blaming them,
Nothing to beat there, right? Kansas City Chiefs, they went there. They couldn't win. Patrick and them, they couldn't win in Buffalo. Oh, okay. All right, Shay. Shay said, you said Buffalo didn't look good. Let's talk about Tampa Bay Buccaneers then. What Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Tampa Bay Buccaneers is good. Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield always comes back. We playing in Tampa. It's hot down there. We've been in Foxborough. We ain't even adjusted to the heat. Everybody's sweating. We cramping. It's all right. Drake Maye, explosive plays. Travion Henderson, explosive plays, right? Run game, stuff, right? Situational football, making plays in situational football. The Big 8. You know what the Big 8 are, Cam, right? The last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. Who wins those? The New England Patriots. And so we could say what we want about this team to in some way try to negate what they have accomplished this year, but this team has won the games in the ways that they're supposed to win them with a quarterback that is playing at the highest level. Now, when we get into the playoffs, if you have Kansas City that's playing well and Patrick Mahomes comes in there, absolutely, you feel a different way because history proves that they show up. But for the rest of these teams, including the Indianapolis Colts, they still have things to prove.
Nice narrative, beautiful soliloquy, as always. You're just getting better and better at it, RC, especially when you're on First Take. I'm so touched by it. And you know what? And anybody that wants a motivational speech, something that's inspirational, go to The Pivot, check him out. He's absolutely fabulous. But that ain't working on this particular argument, and I'm going to tell you why. You left out the fact that they opened the season losing to the hapless Las Vegas Raiders.
I said that.
You left out that. Excuse me. Hold on. I'm talking about your point overall, what you accentuated. My apologies. You mentioned it, but you didn't accentuate it. Can't write that word down too. That works for you. Accentuate. The point is, third game of the season, you had about 5 or 6 turnovers against the Pittsburgh Steelers because you should have won that game, okay? In between all of that, you also struggled to beat the Miami Dolphins, okay? Why do I bring that up? It was early. How you look then ain't necessarily how you gonna look now. You go out there and you beat Buffalo, you deserve a lot of credit. Is it plausible and possible that they were underestimated? It was plausible and possible that the Buffalo Bills, that's the first level of evidence that we saw that they ain't what they needed to be, which is why we lamented the fact that they didn't go and get somebody for the trading deadline. They tried to get Jalen Waddle. Why the hell you don't give up a first round pick in 2026, holding out for dear life unless they allowed you to give the 2027 pick, which makes no sense to any of us up here. They should have gave up that pick. If you got Josh Allen, don't waste a year away. You could be in the playoffs. You got Jalen Waddle, okay? With the rest of the crew, you got a pass catcher for Josh Allen that's desperately needed, especially somebody that can spread the field like a Jalen Waddle. That's what you should have done. They didn't do it. So we're looking at all of those things. And along the way, I'm looking here at the schedule. You beat New Orleans. You beat Tennessee. You beat Cleveland. We don't know what the hell is going on with the Atlanta Falcons, but you won that game by 1 point, okay, 24-23, okay? You had the coach complaining about some rules that might have influenced the game, the outcome of that game. You definitely beat Tampa Bay 28-23. That was a big-time victory, and then you beat the Jets. All I'm saying is it's not beyond the pale, and it's not throwing any shade or taking anything away from them to say, look, Drake Maye is that dude, and Mike Vrabel's coach of the year, and look at the way this team is playing. But do you see a team that can't be had on their home turf? Not throwing shade on them. That's recognizing their respect. They ain't 4-13 no more like they were the last 2 years. And they got an easy schedule. They're going to win about 13 games this season, have home court advantage throughout the AFC. Do you see a team, the home field, I'm sorry, do you see a team that could sit up there and say, yo, the road come through us, and it's going to be hell for y'all? I see teams that could go in there and take them. That's all I'm saying.
You know football far better than I could ever pretend to know. And I think what the Patriots have done, Drake Maye has done, and Mike Vrabel has done this year is admirable.
Fabulous.
With your eyeballs yesterday, they looked okay. They looked okay against a Jets team that is really bad.
Right. Yes.
The ladder.
The ladder.
In the opening drive. Clearly, the Jets did.
Hey, no doubt about it. We could say that the Jets ran it down their throat, but this is still the top team in defense against rushing the football.
That's fact.
Right? And that's 11 games. Right, we want to take this small piece of what we got to see last night when it wasn't great, or when we feel like they didn't dominate in the way that they were supposed to, and say that this team can be had. That's absolutely true, because everyone can be had. Everyone can be beat, especially when we're looking at the AFC this year. But when we're talking about a team that's playing their best over the last 8 weeks, I think you have to consider the New England Patriots as one of those teams.
Listen, real quick, and I'm not denying no impact of what was done or what we've seen up until this year. All I'm saying is the way the AFC is being shifted right now, a really good veteran team will go into Foxborough. And that's all I'm saying.
I agree with that.
And playing these type of teams will have you thinking that you're better than you are, rather than knowing how to win versus good teams. And that's it.
So here's my only problem with those type of statements, though, is this, right? You talk about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills just lost to the Miami Dolphins. And I agree. I said the Buffalo Bills aren't the team that they've been the last 2 years. But that's the point of being a good football team. When you're not at your best against bad football teams, you find a way to win. That's who Kansas City has been the last 2 years. They weren't as dominant, but they found ways to win. They were 12-0 in one-score games, even when playing bad teams, because winning is the ultimate goal of every week. And when there's parity, like there should be in the NFL, we have to learn to do that. And so I'm giving them credit for finding ways to win, even against bad teams.
All right, fair enough. We'll give them credit. We'll give the Patriots credit. They beat the Jets last night.
It's a lot of hate here.
We're just keeping it real.
Hey,
Let's
Cam, abhorrence.